Welcome to Ting LEFT. When nothing goes right, we think left. I'm Shan. Today with me is Huei Ting, member of PSM branch Petaling Jaya, also affected residents of PJD Link. So welcome, Huei Ting.
Thank you.
Okay, so many of us, we know about PJD Link, but maybe some of them is still a bit confused. Like, yeah, we hear news, we saw news about PJD Links, but actually, maybe you can share with us some of the PJD Link background.
Okay, in summary, so PJD Link is a proposed elevated highway project that aims to connect from Kinrara area all the way to Bandar Utama. So this highway will cut through, let's say, areas like PJ areas. So more than just PJ areas, and then SS20 and places like that. So basically, it's a long stretch of elevated highways that aims to connect these two places. And then also the government also aims to build it to reduce traffic congestion.
That's very important. Reduce traffic, yes. Right? We hate jam. But although it's come with the good intentions that to reduce the traffic, as we know, all the way from Puchong to the city center is like super jam, right? So there's a good initiative.
Yes.
Yeah. But why people are protesting? Why people are against about it?
Okay. So on the ground, there are many voices that protest against the PJD Link. So namely, there's a few factors that push people to protest against it. So one is the environmental impact that comes with it, because it's an elevated highway. So that means you have to, take out a huge area to build elevated highway, because you have to drive, you have to drill a lot of like huge pillars, and then you have to take like concrete and then all the blocks to build all this elevated highway. So, and then also some of the projects are, some portion of the highway are quite near to residential area. So all these things will cause a lot of like sound pollution, air pollution. There will be a lot of debris from the construction site, and this is one of the reasons. And then second reason is also we also noticed that this elevated highway, it affects some important sites. Let's say schools. Yeah, in Kinrara, right? It actually affects like a primary school. So, and then if the highway is built, then the kids will have no safe place to go to school, come home from school. So this will also affect the residents' well-being. So overall, and also one more thing is that the government is not being transparent with this project. A little bit background about this PJD Link. So this is actually not the first time the government has proposed a highway like this. So back in 2012, 2013, the government also did propose something called the KIDEX Highway, which is also aiming to connect Kinrara to Damansara. Also same kind of highway and all. But then at that time it was Tan Sri Khalid Ibrahim that approved the highway. So he was the MB at that time. And during that time, there was also a lot of MPs that voiced out their concerns about this highway. So also very similar to what's happening right now. Let's say they voiced their concerns about the transparency. Affected residential areas are not informed.
Because I think the PJD Link is a big, huge project.
Yes,
right?
It is.
It's involve public, involve all the people who are living in that area. And because, and you're saying that one of the reasons why they're against this project is because it's not transparent. Yes. I thought it should be transparent, right? Because it's involving a lot of resident area. It's a huge project. There's money involved. There's a government decision involved. How can people that have no access to those informations? Maybe you can elaborate more about that.
Okay. So back then in KIDEX, there was no public hearing. So, overall, it's just a lack of information. So what happens today for the PJD Link? Almost the same. And then information about the PJD Link is classified under the Official Secrets Act.
Oh.
So, yeah. Official Secrets Act. Yes, exactly. So just imagine you as a resident, you live in your house for like how many decades, how many years, and then suddenly the government comes in and they said they want to build such a huge highway, So what will happen to your house? Yeah. Let's say it will affect the environment, right? It will affect the environment, cause a lot of pollution, and at the same time, perhaps like house prices will also drop, and then the safety of the residents nearby will also be affected. Who can guarantee if there's no accidents or things like that? So there's a lot of things to be I would say, to be taken into account, to be concerned about. But then all these are classified under Official Secrets Act. So until now, there are we don't have a lot of clear information about this project. So of course, the people will question why. Why is this happening? Why is something so large scale? But then the government classified this under Official Secrets Act. But then at the same time, the government keeps on saying that it's for the good, it's for public good. It's for the good of the people because it will help reduce congestion. But then if it's for the good of people, why do you want to put it under Official Secrets Act?
Exactly. If they're so good, tell us. We want to know how good it is, so that maybe we can support the project. Who knows, right? If they're so good that you sound like that way, right?
Yes.
Because we also know that everyone hates jam. Everyone hates traffic jam, right? So if there is so good that we can reduce the traffic jam as the government claim, I mean, why not? Why not? We should support it, right? But we also can see that because the PJD Link, they've been quite proposed for quite some times, right? There's also be a lot of voices that disagree with that. Then the government also respond that it's actually good for the public and stuff. Yeah. But we also see a big U-turn from the government, the Selangor state government, that they cancel the project during the before. Interesting is that before the GE15. And then they said, no, we are not going to do the PJD Link project. We're going to cancel it. I mean, probably just a few months later. I'm not sure about the time frame. But then the government said, like, oh, no, we probably, we revise back. We want to start back the whole project. Until now, the news keep on coming out saying that, oh, we may start back the PJD Link and stuff. But I'm very curious is, Huei Ting, how do you think that why the state government is like changing their positions on that sense? Like, in one point we thought that, okay, our fight is win, right? Because we finally make the government to stop the project. But then now no, government say I'm going to come back. Why this kind of changing of the position of the state government?
That's true. Yeah. So on April 17th, I still remember that date. Fahmi Fazil announced that he will cancel the PJD Link. So that at that time, I remember a lot of groups, a lot of advocacy groups Say No to PJD Link, and then a lot of environmental NGO groups, civil society groups. They were quite happy over it. Yeah, but a lot of them also mentioned we should be more cautious. What if after the election they try to bring it up again? Yeah, so this is a very legit concern towards a lot of our politicians.
Which has become a true.
Yes, yeah, which is becoming true. So to me, why is the government stand so flip-flop in this issue? It's because I think there are a lot of money involved in this project, because I don't remember the exact amount, but I know that this project will cost up to billions, because it's such a long highway, almost up to, I guess, rough estimate, about 20 km. Yeah, it's from Kinrara to Bandar Utama. There's a very quite far distance. Yeah, so there's a lot of money involved, and then also a lot of huge conglomerates that are shareholders of this PJD Link. So it also includes some big corporations from China and also local corporations, and I can't help but feel a bit like questioning towards this whole project. Is because one of the corporations that is involved in this PJD Link project, they actually have negative financial conditions. Yeah, they recently just filed for a PN17, which means, in very simple terms, they are running out of capital, but yet they are still involved in this project. So although we don't have a lot of details, right now, because it's all under Official Secrets Act, but then we can't help but feel a bit questioning, a bit questioning, a bit confused, and a bit afraid also. Why do you let this kind of company be a shareholder of such a huge project?
Yeah, and also very questionable is like, what if this company bankrupt? I don't know.
Yeah,
and then
run out of money.
So running out of money, then who gonna continue the project? Why the government doesn't consider this part and put everything under the Secret Act, that we have no access and we can't even see what's happening? What if this company having such an issue? Will the project delay or stuff and everything?
Exactly. And also we know that Malaysia has a lot of abandoned projects. From Whether in Perak or KL or even in Johor, the entire Malaysia just have a lot of abandoned projects. Yeah. So is this the risk that we want to take? Yeah.
Yeah, that's also. And at the same time, I also feel like that the changing, the state government changing their positions towards the PJD Link is actually, I mean, that's quite clear intentions. They're trying to get votes from the people because they see the residents are really against about it and they desperately want to get vote. That's why they announce that, okay, we're going to cancel. So in order to get the support. But then right after they have guaranteed their win, then the true face of the politician is show, right? Yeah. And so they just, I feel like I can still remember when I read the news about the government will start back, will probably maybe start back the project. I feel like, gosh, you all just like Barista National, you know, like where flip-flop,
change wherever
you make
convenient.
a sweet promise during the elections, and then after that, after you win the elections, and then you're like, okay, we're gonna change our position, haha, you all get tricked, you know, that kind of thing. I feel like actually I'm so angry. Personally, I'm not where I stay, I'm not affected by the PJD Link, but I feel that the flip-flop position is really make us feel like
it treats us like we are useless, you know, we are just there for votes. Yeah, they don't treat us as people who who is given the ability to change the situation in Malaysia. Yeah, we are just there for votes, so we can't do anything. So I feel like this is how they see us in some ways. Yeah. Somebody who has no agency, just there for votes, and then also they keep on flip-flopping. Even in the past, you know, where they put manifestos such as abolish tolls, abolish toll highways and all, they didn't keep their promises a lot of times already.
Yeah, and I think the trust is there. Is like you first you gain our trust, and then we trust you. You're gonna cancel, so we vote you. But now I feel betrayed.
Yeah.
Totally feel betrayed.
Yeah.
But it's good that when you mentioned about KIDEX as well, because I also remember that back to when the KIDEX start about 2012 and 13, around that time, there's also quite a lot of YB from the Pakatan Rakyat, back to that time it's Pakatan Rakyat, now it's Pakatan Harapan. They're actually also against the KIDEX, right? Then later after they fight, after the civil society, also the president over there put a lot of voices that against the KIDEX project, so they cancel the KIDEX project, right?
Yes.
But then later they kind of like rebrand it or rename it, whatever is it, to PJD Link. So it's like they are not giving up on this matter, even though probably, I don't know, I feel like it's so hypocrite in that sense. Like, again, you are betraying the people's views, right? People wanted to cancel the KIDEX.
Yes.
Okay, you say you cancel. And then you kind of like slow down the process. People thought we won, so they stopped talking about this. And then you rebrand it into the PJD Link. I do feel in that sense, you know, you're trying to test the water to see how the people feel about this project. When the people like stop talking about it or slowly silent about it, then they were like, okay, that's the time that we can start the project. So back to the PJD Link as well. Why after the elections that the government flip-flop, also keep on seeing news that the state government will want to revise back the project. I also feel like actually the Selangor state government, which is currently under PKR, is trying to do something similar. You know, they're trying to test the water, test the ground, see how the ground feeling about PJD Link. So when there's like maybe a bit slow, a bit silent, not so the resident not strongly oppose it, then they will again, you know, start a project. Or who knows, maybe one day they will rebrand again to, I don't know what kind of link they're gonna rename it. So again, to start the similar thing, just trying to revise back the project. So apparently it involved actually a lot of how to say, public money. I don't know what is behind it, that the state government are so desperate that wanted this project to be done.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. And then also, I guess on the ground, in some ways, all this flip-flopping, rebranding, right, people, especially let's say for example me, I didn't know about the KeyDex also last time, right? Until now, when I learned about this PJD Link, and then only I found out about the KeyDex. So I guess this kind of rebranding, it feels like an aim to make people forget, make people forget about things, yes. And then also this whole rebrand flip-flop, right? It also caused the momentum on the ground to feel tired. It's like they want to test the waters and then they want to make you tired so that the voices of protest are not loud enough, so they can go ahead with whatever they want. Because we know that everyday Malaysians we're struggling to make a living, and that a lot of us really don't have a lot of headspace or effort to care about so-called political issues. But can we afford to just sit down and let them have what they want? Go ahead with all these mega projects that destroy the environment, destroy the livelihoods. Yeah, can we actually afford that? Do we want to risk our livelihoods to that?
And do we still trust the government?
Oh, yes.
I mean, today he probably make an official announcement. Yeah, we will permanently cancel the PJD Link and then rebrand again. We don't know. So it's always, you make the civil society always have to stay cautious and tension, very tension. Every time you have to look at the news to see whether there's any new project that they try to rebranding. But back to that, because the PJD Link is claimed that to resolve the traffic jam issue. And in Malaysia, I can sure whoever watching right now, I'm sure you also agree with me, or whoever listen right now, that no one loves traffic jam. Everyone hates traffic jam. So the PJD Link, according to the government, it can resolve the traffic jam issue. So without the PJD Link, how can we resolve the traffic issue in throughout that area?
So to us, one and only very simple solution is to improve our public transportation system. And not just talking about bus or train specifically, but the entire infrastructure. So I guess recently, one example that we can see is that there are bus lanes being drawn, being located at the Old Klang Road, Old Klang Road Highway. So we think this is a good initiative, but at the same time, there are also a lot of people complaining about the bus lane. They said the roads are already so small, and Old Klang Road is a very a highly congested area. Yes, a very highly congested area. A lot of people use it to go to KL to work every day. So people think that, this bus lane, it really takes up such a huge space, and for car owners, there are not much space. But then what we see is that although the government make a bus lane, but then the buses are not, the number of buses are not a lot also. Yeah, because it's just, they make one bus lane, but then only one or two bus go and travel. Very, very little buses are basically, there are not many buses that goes around the lane. So as people who drive the car, they might see, oh my God, you open such a huge lane, and then for a few buses to go. So our very practical solution to get to our workplace faster is to drive on the bus lane. And this, once again, it defeats the whole effectiveness of the bus lane. So what we think the government should do is that you can open the bus lane, but at the same time, you also need to increase the frequency of the bus, increase the services also. Get more buses on the road. So to make people feel confident that okay, I can actually choose not to drive because I saw a lot of bus going to my workplace, going directly to my workplace somehow. So this will help to cultivate more confidence in the people, to get them to use the bus and also drive less. And in the long term, of course, this will help reduce the congestion.
Because I think because we have to go back to the root cause of why there's so much of car on the road to cause the traffic jam, right? Why, maybe, people who are listening to this, maybe you can comment and tell us why you choose to drive car instead of public transport. Like my personal experience is, I'm a car owner myself, and actually I'm living in a place that not so difficult to get public transport. It's quite convenient for me to get public transport, but why I still choose to drive most of the time? Because one is, of course, the frequency and the time of the public transport it takes. Because I'm waiting in bus stop, I'm not sure when the bus is going to arrive and how long I'm going to wait for that. So the schedule of the bus, I do not know. Of course, now the LRT or KTM probably yes, but many of the areas we have no access to this KTM or LRT or MRT. You still need to go for the bus, right? So that's why I choose when I want to go some places and I'm thinking that I'm not sure how long I'm going to wait in the bus stop and under the hot sun. Some even don't have the bus stand, you know, and or probably raining. So I was like, okay, let it. I would just drive. Probably it would jam. It probably take me 1 hour to arrive the place that I want to go. But I still decided because I know that
it's a safer option.
I will like by this time I already arrived. Not like I'm on the way, but I haven't arrived. So that is why I choose to do it. And also, if I can know the frequency of that and the bus lane is effective, and I'm sure that I will take the bus because I know that I will have a special lane for me so that there's no jam, that I can arrive my destinations on time. But now, unfortunately, because of the lack of the service of the public transport, many people, they actually choose to buy the car.
Yes.
And if I want to travel to some place where no public transport, then I have no choice. I just have to drive the car. So, and the root cause of this is actually the public transport is not enough or efficient enough so that people choose to drive the car instead of taking the public transport.
Yes.
So I think we believe that, I'm not sure you agree with me or not, if the whole thing, the public transport as a whole, not only purely for PJD Link area, right? As a whole is improved, then many people would choose to buy that. And some more, another thing is actually buying car is a huge burden, especially for the young adult who are just fresh grade and start working, right?
Yes.
And if we can somehow to improve the public transport, it's actually reduce a huge burden for our young adult.
Yes, that's true. Because let's say for now, even let's say the cheapest car also, it costs about 40,000, and then
Plus.
every month you have to spend around 600 on the loan, right? Yeah, and this is already a huge cost, you know, because for some people 600 can mean a month's food or perhaps rent a small room. So it really takes up a lot of cost just for a car. Yeah, and then also logically thinking, if 100 people drive 100 cars on the road, it takes up a lot of space. But if you fit 100 people on the bus, it will take up only a bus,
or
two buses, yes. So logically, buses will be more efficient, you know, because it doesn't take up a lot of space on the road. So do we want to go for the public transport for our own good, or do we want to continue the whole traffic congestion situation for our own good? Yeah. And then think about it, is the highway really for our own good, or is there someone benefiting from it?
Yeah, maybe because I think you raised a very good point that while we are talking about PJD Link and we're advocating for more or better public transport service and infrastructure, and you are raising a very good point that why highway is actually not benefit the user. I mean, we are the user. Why?
Yes.
Maybe get a little bit more about that.
Okay, so from what we know, a lot of people did say that highway benefits them because it helps them reach places more easily, more faster, right? But you have to pay for toll. Okay, so now the question is, why is our convenience being sold at a price? Like, in order for us, the public, to reach from one place to another, why do we have to pay a price for this convenience? Yeah, why isn't the government doing something to turn this so-called highway, this highway that will benefit us, a public good, into something that the public will benefit, right? Because we still have to pay a toll for that. You know, it's additional costs on us. And then at the same time, if you think about it, who builds the highway? It's always the conglomerates, the big corporations, the capitalists, that are building this highway. And then also who pays the toll and who receives our toll money? Yeah, who's the one that earns a lot of profit from our toll money? So think about that. And then also one thing is that we also pay a lot of tax every year.
Yeah, we pay road tax every year.
Pay road tax, we pay all kinds of expenses just to drive our car on toll roads. So why are these so-called public goods and then convenience? Once again, the price is that us, the people, the rakyat, are shouldering the burden.
That's actually really bugged me is that we have to pay for the convenience. We have to pay so that in order that I can arrive the destinations faster.
Yes.
And why the government not doing something that to ensure that we can arrive the destination, not really like faster, but at least on time.
Yes.
So like we've been keep on saying that the infrastructure, the public transport and stuff like that. So instead of giving, giving project and allowing this kind of company to build more toll roads, I see that government have no initiative that to really have a solution to resolve the traffic jam. Just like, oh, traffic jam, okay, build another highway.
Yeah.
And then, give to the another company to have a highway project, such as like a PJD Link. So they don't have a vision to like really like how to resolve the traffic jam in the long term, right? They just say, okay, I built this probably in 5 years or 3 years, then the traffic jam will pop.
Yeah, when more people buy car because they saw, oh, you got highway, what? Then they just continue buy car, continue driving, then the roads gets jammed again.
Yeah,
and then they're gonna propose the same solution, like let's
another
just build
highway.
Another highway.
Yeah, because we've been seeing a lot of highway, in Damansara. I'm so scared to go to Damansara because I always, if I lost in somewhere and I always get into another highway, I always have to pay a lot of toll money. And every time I get lost in Damansara. So that's why I don't go Damansara. And but there's where we see the root cause here, right?
Yeah.
And the no solutions to resolve the traffic jam matter, and only like trying to put outsource to the capitalists to build more highway, and that's all they need. And who knows, is there any corruptions or any, I would believe there's any corruptions involved behind this, right? We have no idea about it. And because document also fall under the Secret Act. So, I mean, we have no access to all this and we have no idea what is happening. All the government do is the lazy job. They just pass to them. So I think that's a very problematic here. And I feel like we should have more conversations or, I don't know, push or lobbying the government that put a proper solutions to solve the traffic jam, but not giving the highway project to another company that earn money for that.
Yes. And usually these companies are, rich private company, and I feel like this is also a government solution to a lot of things. Privatize everything, just give it to private company. Then they assume that they will solve it, but no, it just pass on the cost to us, the users, the consumers.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we have to shoulder the cost. We have to pay for it. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think about PJD Link after you listen to all of our argument? So do you think PJD Link should go ahead or not? Comment and let us know. Thank you.